It is Showdown Saturday, week 14, the last week of the regular season. We blink, and now we're at the last week of the regular season, man. We're about to be 1 week from conference championships, and we're so fired up for this weekend. And guys, I know y'all were clamoring. For George Wrighster to come back on. Week 12 was a great episode, and now guess what? I delivered. I asked him to come back on. He said yes. We're ready to rock and roll. A Thanksgiving edition of Pigskin Frenzy as well. Guys, Thanksgiving, good meals. It's cold outside. I mean, probably not where George is. Cold outside, games, and just we're rocking and rolling. And a partridge and a pear tree. Guys, welcome to Pigskin Frenzy on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm Joel Norris. And whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, Podbean, and Apple, a big thank you for taking some time out of your Thursday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some college ball coverage presented by us. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple, all you got to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. X on Instagram is at pigskin_frenzy. The website is www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. Guys, we are so thankful and blessed to have our Week 12 guest picker and now our Week 14 guest picker back. He is the host of the Unafraid Show, former Oregon tight end and former Jacksonville Jaguars tight end, Mr. George Wrighster. Golf clap again, ladies and gentlemen. George, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Do you keep track of the guest pickers picks?
Oh, I should. That's the nest.
Yeah, man, you got to keep score.
That's the one mistake that I've made. So I guess starting next year, that will be the Nick. No, I'm getting Nick picked on that one now because that is the one thing I'm going to start doing. I think a lot of people have actually asked me that, like my family, when they watch my show, they're like, "Do you keep track on this stuff?" And they're like, "Oh, maybe I'm messing up right now." So, happy Thanksgiving, by the way. I know it's a Thanksgiving episode, and I know we're ready to rock and roll. Before we get into that, I got to ask a question. It's an important question. It's probably going to be the most important question of the whole show. What's your go-to Thanksgiving meal?
It's very traditional at my house. I actually just pulled my turkeys out of the brine today. Turkeys. They've been in the brine since Sunday afternoon, and they are ready. They are going to be so tender, so juicy. And my brine is so intense that when I pull it out, rinse it off, spatchcock the turkeys, put them on the wire racks back in the refrigerator, in the other refrigerator, and then put a little salt on the skin just so the skin dries out so it'll get crispy. And there's not another ounce of seasoning that goes on it because the brine is so, like, I have peppercorns and cloves and allspice and lemons and oranges and apples and apple cider and sugar and salt and a few other things in there that marinate the turkey for a few days. And it is intense. And yeah, it's serious.
Oh, man, that sounds delicious. Are you a guy that likes mashed potatoes or like homemade macaroni and cheese, ham, deviled eggs?
Oh, everything is there. Everything is there. We have deviled eggs. We got mashed potatoes are really like they take a back seat at my house. My mom's cornbread dressing is there, red beans and rice. We got gumbo. We got what don't we have? Yeah, we got mac and cheese. We got potato salad. We got coleslaw. We got rolls. We got green beans. We got sweet potatoes. It is anything that you would think for a traditional Thanksgiving meal. We have an elite version of that, and not one person cooks. It's kind of potluckish, but
yeah.
So let me explain to you how Thanksgivings work in Black households the majority of the time, okay? Is you can't just say, "Oh, I want to do mac and cheese this year." No, there is one person assigned to macaroni and cheese. And if you if you ever mess it up, you are then fired. It is ruthless. If you are assigned to the green beans and people are like, "Oh, these are nasty," you will be fired from green beans, and you may only be able to bring cutlery after that. Like there have been people who have been fired from many a dish. And so you must bring your A game all the time. It is kind of like being a pilot. Like you don't get to have accidents as a pilot.
You got to be perfect. You got to be
Perfect.
perfect.
Perfection is the standard.
Yeah, man, that's pressure, but it's also good because it's what makes the food so good. Man, I'm a turkey
Yes.
guy. I'm a ham guy. I like it all. There's one thing I don't like, and it's deviled eggs. I think deviled eggs takes a back seat to me. I've never been a deviled eggs guy. A lot of people are like, dude, are you serious? I'm from the South. So a
You
lot
have
of
to have
people.
some good deviled eggs.
Yes, I must. I guess. I don't know. A lot of people say, dude, you're from the South. You don't like sweet tea. And I don't like sweet tea. A lot of people
What?
are crucifying me for that. But I I do not like sweet tea. I am a
My
Southern
grandma
guy
used
that
to
does not
make
like sweet
sun
tea.
brewed. She used to put the sweet tea out in the sun during in like this glass jar in the summertime. Boy, she used to brew her tea in the sun. I don't know if that helps it out, but it sure did taste good. But I will tell you, like I'm not sugar water sweet tea guy. Like I'm like medium sweet.
Yeah. I mean, I think so. The stable that's the stable drink in our household. At least at my grandma's house, when I go over to her, I'm like, "What's going on? How are y'all?" And then y'all want sweet tea? And I'm like, "I'm good. I'll stick with either two things: water or Dr Pepper. I'm straight, man.
Oh, see, I would never drink a Dr. Yeah, I would never pull up a Dr. Pepper. Even though I don't dislike it, I just don't really like dark sodas. Like I'm more like I don't really drink a lot of soda, but if I do, it's probably gonna be like a Sprite or some Sprite Sierra Mist or and I will occasionally hit you with like an orange joint. But I've been drinking a lot of poppies lately.
I heard those were very good. Man, look,
Yeah.
I'm a water mainly guy, but
Yeah.
look, guys, Dr Pepper, if y'all listening, hey man, somehow come across this. Hit me up, call me, man. I will listen to anything y'all have for me to promote for y'all. Let's talk about some college football. I know we got a rock and roll, man. Before we get into the ranking reactions, we've been talking back and forth about this, and I know you're probably gonna be like, oh God, here we go again. Let's talk about the coaching carousel. Before we get into Lane Kiffin, because I know it's like, here we go. Let's talk about Eric Morris with Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Oklahoma State hires Eric Morris. I did not do that on Tuesday, so I thought it'd be good to talk about it now. I think that's a unique hire. I'm a fan of it, at least. I just think that Eric Morris has done a lot with little, if that makes sense. He had limited resources, and he's done a lot with limited resources. I think that's a good hire for Oklahoma State.
Okay. So on one hand, yes, right? But the other hand is here's the truth, okay? Is that North Texas people that their brass were telling Eric Morris that he needed to have at least an 8-win season to keep his job. So these things happen real fast. Like you can go from the hot seat to hot candidate real fast. And yes, he's done a really good job this season, but you do have to wonder how much of that is because he found him a quarterback in Mestamaker. Because last year they're 10-1 this year. They were 6-7 last year, and then 5-7 the year before. So, but those were his first 2 seasons. So so you can understand how you would end up 5-7 and 6-7 when you took over a program that hadn't won, that hadn't had a winning record. So they had a winning record in 2022, 21, 20, 19. All were like 4 to 6 win seasons. So this does feel like it's a big step up for them, and you do have to wonder if it's an outlier or not, which is fair.
Yeah, and that's a fair point. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. Do you think that Mestamaker? It's too early to assume, I know, but do you think Mestamaker follows suit and goes with him?
I think Master Maker is going to be highly sought after.
Yeah.
I think he is going to get himself a lot of money. And there is something to having some familiarity with your head coach because they trust you, they believe in you. Your rope is going to be longer with him than if you go somewhere else, which is an important thing, particularly at the quarterback spot. Because if you do struggle or there is something hard that happens, are they going to give up on you, or are they going to say, no, this is our guy, we believe in him?
Absolutely, and you're right. I mean, I think Mr. Baker, dude, he's been. A lot of people are not really, but they talk about him, but they're not like, oh, look at Fernando Mendoza, look at Pavia, look at Julian Sayin, or Ty Simpson. I mean, I think Mr. Baker is one of those underrated type quarterback commodities that a lot of people don't really. When they watch him play, they appreciate him, but they don't really hype him up
Yeah.
at first. If that makes sense, and I
Well,
believe that he goes anywhere else,
only
he'll be good.
because he's at North Texas. If he
Right.
were anywhere else, they would absolutely be talking about him. But it don't feel real sexy to be talking, for fans like, oh yeah, it's just Master Maker. Like, oh, he wouldn't be doing anything anywhere else. Yeah, okay.
All right, bud. All right. There's one thing that I got out of this as well, and we'll move on to the Lane Kiffin stuff and your opinion on that. But one thing that I got out of that was he chose Oklahoma State over Arkansas. Because Arkansas offered him the job, he declined that, and went to Oklahoma State.
Yep.
What is your feel of the Arkansas job? Like, how do you feel about the overall state of the program, but just the job itself?
Okay. It's like, okay, the state of the Arkansas program, it is like, the best way to explain it is if I told you that somebody won 10 games at Arkansas and they went 10-2, what would you say?
I would probably be shocked.
Okay.
They won
If
10
I
games,
told
you
you
said?
that 10 games, they
Yeah,
went 10-2.
I would probably be shocked around this time frame, at least. Yes.
Okay. If somebody told you that they won 10 games 2 years in a row, how shocked would you be?
Shocked.
In the regular season, not counting a bowl game, just 10-2 and then 10-2.
Very shocked.
Does that even feel possible?
At this point in time, no. I think Arkansas to me is like a splash in the pan kind of thing.
Exactly. You even in the era of NIL and transfer portal and all of that, Arkansas still has some catching up to do. Arkansas is what Ole Miss, what Ole Miss was prior to Lane Kiffin. You would still be surprised if Ole Miss won the SEC, but maybe not in a year or two. You'd be like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But right now, it don't feel like it makes a whole lot of sense.
Right. You mentioned Lane Kiffin, so now we got to talk about that really quick before we move on. Man, it feels like this is the biggest decision since LeBron James left the Cavaliers to go to the Miami Heat. I mean, just the talk around this, man, has been absolutely just, okay, Florida's confident. LSU fans are confident. Oh, my sources say this. My sources say that. I beg and plead them to please just calm down and stop. What is, in your feel, like, how do you think this is all going to play out after the Egg Bowl? Where do you see it trending in your mind?
Okay. I am confused because, and this is no disparagement because I believe that Lane Kiffin's a good coach.
Right.
But why are all of these teams tripping over themselves to give him $100 million? He's only ever made it to one conference championship ever, and that's when he was at FAU. He has burned things down damn near everything where he's been. So why are we enamored like that? This is, oh my God, this guy's this is Nick Saban. It makes no sense to me. It's not that he's not a good coach because he clearly is. but people getting so enamored, it's like looking at somebody else's wife, right? And somebody looking at somebody else's husband, like, oh my gosh, that's the best wife in the world. For him, maybe not for you, because you don't know that, like, she don't pick up after herself, or he leaves his, dirty dishes on the sink, and but all you see is, oh, hi, everything's perfect at the PTA meeting, or when we go out to dinner. You see all the good things. You don't see that, like, that every morning she can't find her phone, or that this dude just don't answer the phone as much, or whatever your pet peeve is. The answer to the test for 99% of these coaching jobs: go get you a G4 coach, or go get you an assistant coach. How do you think you got Kirby Smart, Slick? He was a assistant coach. How do you think you got Dan Lanning? How do you get Marcus Freeman? Assistant coaches.
Assistants, yeah.
How did Oklahoma get Brent Venables? Assistant coach. How did Dabo Sweeney? Assistant coach. Like, why are we keep trying to, oh yeah, let's go steal somebody else's coach, LSU? How did that work out for you last time? It didn't. Go get you an assistant coach, but the problem is they think they're too good. Oh, this guy's not fit for he's not ready for the big time. He's not ready for LSU. All right. You'll be on to your next head coach when the next thing don't fit either, because you keep trying to fit a square peg in a round hole when the answer is sitting. How far away is Baton Rouge from Louisiana? However far that is, that's as far as your coaching search needed to go. Call John Summerall. Louisiana is a unique place. You have to be able to fit there and recruit there. And if you can win at Tulane, recruit kids to Tulane, guess what? You understand the Louisiana culture, and you can get kids there. So imagine what you could do with an LSU logo on your chest. They're overthinking it. Wherever John Summerall goes, I would be willing to bet he has at least the same amount of success that Lane Kiffin has. At least. For half the price and 50% of the risk.
Golf clap, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we brought George Wrighster back on the show.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Thanks for coming.
To my TED Talk.
Thanks for our new reoccurring guest, George Wrighster, for Pigskin Frenzy, coming on to talk about Lane Kiffin. Man, and look, man, and the thing is, you're not necessarily wrong. I love John Summerall. I've been a John Summerall guy for the longest time. I've loved him when he was at Troy. I loved what he was doing. I love what he's doing at Tulane, obviously. Baton Rouge to New Orleans, by the way, because you mentioned that. It was funny that you said, how far is it? It's an hour and 17 minutes, 81 miles to be exact, from Baton Rouge is New Orleans. So, and I get it. Why don't you go and get John Summerall? And I think Lane, so right now for what I'm seeing, and I'm listening to at least, it's Lane, everyone's saying, oh, LSU's talking to other people. No. They're talking to just Lane Kiffin's representatives. That's all they're looking at right now is Lane Kiffin, Lane Kiffin, Lane Kiffin.
And then what are you going to do if he says no?
That's the scary part.
Then you're going to be scrambling, begging somebody else to come.
Yeah, exactly. Florida at least is talking to other people. Jed Fish is a name that I've been hearing a little bit too, which I don't think that would be too bad either. I think they're talking to Jed Fish, Eli Drinkwitz. I know Ole Miss is probably is looking to try to start talking to some people. I know that they're trying to get some plans in place in the event, right? But I don't think they're doing anything until after the Egg Bowl, obviously. But
no. They are Ole Miss. I'm telling you, they are having preliminary conversations with people, and they're like, please, hold off until the weekend, please. Like, just give us till the weekend before you say yes here, blah, blah, blah. And Ole Miss better have somebody ready in the back pocket, because we we've already seen Eric Morris. We saw the Colorado State job with Jim Mora. I honestly, if I was UCLA, I would have considered him.
Me
But
too.
but the person who UCLA needs to hire is Ryan Silverfield from Memphis. But that's a whole nother story. But so you got Penn State trying to hire Chesney. Okay. But it feels like Chesney is kind of in a holding pattern right now because they want to see if Kalen DeBoer will actually come up there. I do believe that there is some truth there, that he is possibly willing to do that because coaching at Alabama is a lot, man. And, you know, Alabama and Auburn, they kill trees. They do crazy things. They call it the fine bomb and who show I like. But it's intense. Yeah. And so I can't even imagine the level of scrutiny his family and his wife are under in the community. And for a guy who loves his family, that can be a bit much. And it was fine for Saban because there was nothing. What the hell you was going to say? Say to him, he's won so many national championships. Yeah. He has been really good. You can count on him in big games. Like, what are you going to say?
That's right. You're right. You're 100%. Speaking of the Iron Bowl, that's a Pigskin Frenzy game. So coming up in a little bit, we're going to preview and predict that game, man. It's going to be awesome. But your final prediction on the whole saga, as I'm pretty sure we're going to be talking about it, obviously. But what's your final prediction during the saga of Lane Kiffin? Do you think he stays at Ole Miss, goes to LSU, or goes to Florida?
I think part of me I want him in my heart to stay.
Yeah.
But I feel like he is souring the situation himself, and to where they're like, bro, either stay or go. It don't even matter no more. But I feel that he's gone. I feel he's gone, but you know, that could be heartburn. But I want him to stay.
He wants him to stay, ladies and gentlemen. So do you think if he does go, where does he go? I'm prying stuff out of you, man. I'm looking at you. I'm like, let's see what George says. In your prediction, so it's just your opinion.
All signs are pointing to LSU, but I believe that LSU is the one who leaked the contract details, either them or Jimmy Sexton. But Jimmy don't really make a whole lot of sense. I think LSU leaked it because they're trying to poison the situation at Ole Miss and then hopefully get Florida to back down some or whatever. And that's what leads me to believe that it could be Florida.
Okay. All right.
It's because it's too much noise. It almost feels like, remember when the Lincoln Riley to LSU stuff started?
Yes.
And everybody was like, oh, man, he's going down to LSU. And it was like, now you see me, now you don't. I'm in LA.
Yeah.
and that's what I think that Jimmy's doing.
Florida. That could be an interesting option. I think it would be hard. You know, I'll say it. Why not? Why not? Thanksgiving, I'll say it. I think it will be harder for him to win at Florida, a national championship at Florida, than it would be at LSU. I'm just going to be 100% on that. I think it'd be good. I think he could win one at Florida. I just think it'd be harder for him to.
How about this? I believe he would have an easier time winning a national championship at Ole Miss than he is at Florida, because Ole Miss is further along than Florida is right now. So he would have to. Number one, he's got to find a new quarterback for next year. If he goes down to Florida, you cannot name DJ Lagway your starter for next year. You have to either put him in a quarterback competition or bring somebody else in. Like, there's no, like, he has not played anywhere near well enough to assure him that he's the starter.
Yeah.
And then but LSU talent rich, all of this stuff, but you got too many cooks in the kitchen. And when is the last time anybody was at LSU for a long time?
Yeah. Not long. I mean,
Les Miles?
I mean, let me also say Les Miles is the only one, but I'm saying like Ed Orgeron was there for what, 6 years? Brian Kelly for 4.
Yeah.
Saban for like 3.
Yeah, it ain't when you get fired. It ain't if you get fired. It's when you get fired. How long can you stave it off? Where now, granted, economic stability for Lane Kiffin is not an issue with any of these choices.
Right.
For me, when I make choices, I put obviously the career stuff matters, but it is how's this going to impact my family?
Yeah.
You could give me a job for $50 million a year. If that means I get a divorce and then my kids are upset and this and that, it ain't worth it. I'd rather make $2 million and be happy than you give me. And I know that some people listening are gonna be like, what the heck are you talking about? I'll take $50 million. What does $50 million matter if you lose what the thing that is most important to you? And you're like, oh, the kids will be all right. They'll live in a nice house. Like, no, they won't. Anybody who's been a child of divorce or anything like that, or a blended family, they know the difficulties that come with that. So, and money don't solve it. Like, they would rather to have a peaceful home and Lane has been able to get his family back together. They're all in the same place. So any decision that he makes, and granted, it's his life, he's got to choose. But I 100% believe that whether it's me, him, or anybody else, when you're making decisions about your career, anything that how is this going to impact the people that I love the most? And sometimes it's short term, sometimes it's long term. If it's short term, yes, we can make some sacrifices. Like if I live in Cali. If I had to fly to excuse me, if I had to fly to New York for a show and it was paying me a lot of money for like 2 or 3 days a week, that might work for a year, 2 years. But at the point, I mean, I quit my radio show because the time I did it for 4 years and then started having some problems with the home and the family and all of this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I prayed about it, everything. I was like, dude, if I keep doing this, I'm going to get a divorce. So quit my job. And my wife was on board. And granted, I understand that everybody doesn't have that same financial flexibility. But at the same time, my wife was on board and she was like, George, you are smart enough. God said that he'll take care of this, this, and this. You just do what you're supposed to do and what you're led to do, and everything will work out. And now it's working out. Yeah. Granted, took a year, but it is like the future is bright as can be because I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
So now Lane Kiffin needs to do what he is supposed to be doing, guys. God's timing is always perfect. So I'm glad you told me that. Round of applause for George Wrighster once again. We're going to cool it with a coaching carousel talk. My decision, by the way, my prediction is I ain't got no clue. You know what I mean? I don't have that's my decision. I don't have no clue where he's going. So I am one of everyone's saying, oh, LSU, Florida, Ole Miss, the Titans, or it was what Tom Fornelli said. Shout out to my friend Tom Fornelli. He's awesome, man. I have no clue where he's going. I don't have any feel of the situation. Because I could see all sides. I really could. I could see him going to the post-game presser, dropping and saying, I'm not leaving, and then just get the contract like it's the WWE and signing it in front of everybody, showing it to everybody, then walking out with the Egg Bowl trophy if they win. Or I could honestly see them where a result of where they win or lose, he goes to LSU or goes to Florida. So I don't know. We'll see what happens come Friday morning or Saturday or whenever it is announced. How about we get to our ranking reactions? We haven't done that in a whole 2 weeks, right, George?
Yes, let's
do,
go.
let's do our ranking reaction. So, are there any moves, like I said last time, that you agreed with or disagreed with? Particularly, according to Hunter Yurachek, I mean, that 6-7 thing that happened there. I don't know if you saw that, but that was painfully
He's
painful.
he's got kids. That's
He
that's all it means is that he's got kids.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's probably, and I can't relate. I'm 25. Look, I can't relate to that. But
See,
he's also running a coaching search too, so he's probably a little bit stressed, and I understand that. But are there any moves that you agreed with or disagreed with?
first of all, I love on a quick note, I love that he did the 6-7 thing because it is so annoying because it means nothing. And the kids just do it. And now that adults are doing it all the time, the kids are gonna be like, "Oh, this is dumb." No, they will phase it out soon because the adults are stealing it.
Man, I'm probably not going to do any 6'7", 7'6", whatever it is. I'm not on TikTok. Maybe I should be for Pigskin Frenzy purposes, but I probably am not going to do any of the trends or anything. One move that I was intrigued by, we talked about it last night, was Oregon and Ole Miss. I thought it had something to do with the Lane Kiffin stuff, and I think also what you said was also accurate too, but you can explain that as well. Do you think that move surprised you? Okay. Oregon jumping Ole Miss or no?
No, I would have been surprised if they didn't move Oregon in front of Ole Miss. Okay, here's the truth about Ole Miss, and nobody wants to talk about this, okay? When we get to talking about stats, okay, and where teams sit, what do you actually think about Ole Miss?
To be real, and this is just me.
Yep.
I think their offense is good. I think their defense is questionable overall. I think their schedule has been pretty good to them. Is that a nice way to put it? Pretty good to them. That's just me.
Bingo. Okay. How do you feel about their defense?
I think they're good in certain aspects. I think when they come across a team like a Georgia, yeah, I think when they come across an elite Georgia team or I don't know, maybe even if they do, I don't know if they will do it or play them in Alabama. They didn't play Alabama, but if they come across an Alabama or Texas A&M, I think they're going to get in trouble, if that makes sense. I think they're good against a team like Florida defensively. I think they're good against a team like LSU defensively. But are they really, truly good against an elite team like an Ohio State, like a Georgia? We don't know yet because they haven't played them, but you know what I'm saying? But they play Georgia.
They are.
We'll see.
They are a middle-of-the-road team defending the run.
Yes.
Middle of the road. And you would think that a team that has been up by so much, and this is true of Texas A&M as well, you would have thought that Ole Miss's defense would be better, but they are not. And I would argue that last year's Ole Miss team would beat this year's Ole Miss team. How about that?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Ole Miss was really good last year, but I don't know how I can answer that one, man. That's tough. You're putting a tough one on me with that one. Yeah. I think in certain aspects I do, but
okay.
I think defensively they were better last year. The other part,
and then the other part of Ole Miss is this. Okay, tell me how you feel about this schedule when I just read it off to you.
I think I'm ready.
Georgia Southern. And then, how about if I tell you that they gave up 23 points to Kentucky? How about if I tell you that they gave up 35 to Arkansas? Then they beat Tulane. And then they beat LSU. Oh, they just beat Western Kentucky 13-10 last week. This team's felt okay. LSU doesn't count as a good win. A 3-point win over Washington State. Then you lose to Georgia, and then you beat Oklahoma, but John Mateer still is not 100% back yet. Then you beat South Carolina. Then you beat the Citadel. Then you kind of struggle with Florida. Where are the good wins outside of Oklahoma? What's not manageable about this schedule?
Right. It's pretty.
And
It's
I think
pretty.
that's what the committee is looking at, saying,
And then
they could very well lose this weekend. But that's a whole nother story. We'll get to it.
Oh, he's probably doing an upset alert pick already. I mean, man, I agree with that. I think if Friday does come into effect, that's going to be very telling to see what the committee does. Yes, favorable schedule. I think the Lane Kiffin stuff's going to even add more gasoline to the fire as well, and it's going to be like, all right, we can't have this. You know what I mean? So I am in agreement with you on that. Here's one more, and then we'll move on. What about Oklahoma and Notre Dame? You think Notre Dame should be ahead of Oklahoma?
Of Oklahoma? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's more style of play because Oklahoma's offense has been like iffy.
Yeah.
Iffy at best. And that's where it feels like the separator for these two teams is right now.
Yeah, 100%. And that was exactly what I was going to say. I think Notre Dame, I mean, dude, I don't know how you can't move up Notre Dame after the demolition that we saw in South Bend this past weekend with Syracuse, 70-7. That was ridiculous. And
yeah, I'd give them no credit for that. I give them no credit for that. None.
I know.
I mean, yes, it was a dominating win, but everybody's beating up on Syracuse. They're playing with a walk-on redshirt. A walk-on true freshman who's a lacrosse player. He don't even have no business out there. They're on their third-string quarterback, and they were doing well prior to their quarterbacks getting hurt. So I don't like. Oh, you beat Syracuse, who's doing awful because they got no offense. Okay, right. Good job.
Yeah, I understand that. I do. I don't know. I think it's something about 70-7 though, man. Regardless of what's out there, it's just still.
It looked good though. It looks good, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks good for your resume a little bit, just to hyping that up. Like, okay, I just beat somebody 70-7 this year. Like, crap, an ACC opponent. I mean, man, I am iffy on Oklahoma's offense. Yeah, I mean, and it's not. Yeah, I think Mateer because of the injury and trying to come back, me fully healthy. I think majority of that's Ben Arbuckle, though. I think he just needs to dial it up a little bit more. That's just me.
I mean, mind you, I was a Mateer pumper upper in the preseason.
Yeah.
And I still think he's a good quarterback, good dual threat. His inaccuracy is alarming. It is truly alarming.
Yeah.
And it feels like he is holding this team back in the pass game.
I do think I'll just say because it's not even an upset.
And granted, it's not that he doesn't make good throws ever, because sometimes he does. Like, that's not even a question. It's just the consistency is not there where it needs to be.
And I'll say this, because I know we got to move on to upset alerts and previewing predictions. But, man, I will say this. I think Oklahoma will win Saturday. I think they're in. I just think what's going to end up happening is LSU's defense is going to get gassed and then OU's going to win. I think it will be a struggle at first, though. Let me put it that way. I think
LSU just doesn't have no offense. Their offense is awful right now. This is the greatest mystery of LSU this season. How did Nussmeier go from a potential first-round pick, 4,000-yard passer last year, like 30 touchdowns, to getting benched? How? It's like somebody put a root on him or something down there. A curse on the LSU fan base.
He's just hurt. Okay, let's go with the upset alerts. Upset alerts for
Okay.
week 14, man. Showdown Saturday. That's what I call it around here on the Pigskin Frenzy parts. Anyways, it's a Showdown Saturday. It's rivalry weekend. It's going to be great. I'm going to start it off with Ole Miss and State. Obviously, I think that's an upset alert for me there. It's scary what's happening right now, the situation of, okay, is the noise going to get to them? And I think that's a huge part in this game. They are a 7.5-point favorite. I know the Egg Bowl is always a close game, and it is, but I think the distractions are usually iffy. Let me just say this, and I'll give you a little bit of a history kind of thing here. The last time, it was a few years back when he was like, okay, getting the rumblings for the Auburn job before they went on with Hugh Freeze. Yeah, Ole Miss lost that game to Mississippi State. And usually when that opposing coach, whether it's State or Ole Miss, is being looked at for another job, Dan Mullen, right? Dan Mullen with Florida. They end up losing for some reason. So I think this is scaring me a little bit. So I don't know. That's an upset alert pick for me. Do I want to go with Iowa and Nebraska? Do I want to go with that one? I think, okay, so I was 5.5.
How can you get upset when how can there be an upset in that game?
Yeah, that's what I was confused on too. I was thinking, like, do I want to go with that one? I'm not sure. Because I think I was a 5.5-point favorite, but I can also see Nebraska just flipping the script and just winning that game as well.
No.
You think Iowa wins?
Yes, yes. TJ Lateef is going to have all sorts of problems with that Iowa defense. And Nebraska's offense is not dynamic enough. They don't have enough playmakers on the outside. No chance.
What about Clemson and South Carolina?
I got to be honest. I saw it on the I want Dabo to win.
Yeah.
I don't care enough about this game this year. South Carolina looks terrible.
Yeah.
I want Lenora Sellers to go back to school but with the new quarterback coach, a new offensive coordinator. And I want Dabo to finish out strong this year, so I'm going to take Clemson. Whether you're going to call, I mean, I don't even know who can get upset in that game.
Yeah, and I guess you.
Their fan bases are already upset.
3.5-point favorite, I believe South Carolina is over Clemson. So yeah, I agree. It could be. Yeah, I think it's an interesting game. We'll see what happens on that one. Last year was very interesting. It was a pigskin game last year, and I was now going from that to this year. I'm stunned. A couple of more for you, and then we'll move on to our preview predictions. How do you feel about Miami and Pitt?
Oh, I don't trust Miami at all. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them.
Miami's a 6.5-point favorite.
Everybody's doing all this talking. Why is Notre Dame in front of them? Just win your games, Miami? That's how you got in this position to begin with. You wasn't winning your own games. You was feeling good, number 2 in the nation. Every time they get to feeling too good, start reading the press clippings, fall off a cliff. And it's November too. This is Mario Cristobal's opportunity to break the narrative about not winning games in November.
Yeah, 100%. Actually, I got 2 more, and then we'll go on to our preview predictions. 2 more. Let's go with Houston and Baylor. I think that's an interesting one. Baylor's a 2.5-point favorite. You think Houston gets them?
No. Houston's defense has been pretty good. Connor Weigman has not been playing great ball. In terms of like the passing the ball part, he's been doing a good job, like a good Haynes King impersonation with the battery and ram part of the quarterback. But yeah, I think that, Dave Aranda getting announced he's coming back is going to put a little more juice into that team when they were probably questioning it. I think Baylor pulls out that game.
Last one, we'll go on our preview predictions. What about Vandy and Tennessee? Tennessee is a 3.5-point favorite in this one. I think that game could go really either way, honestly. I don't see how you can really maybe flip it to an upset. I don't know, but you think the wrong team's favored?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because it's a home game?
Vanderbilt is one of the worst pass defenses in college football. And what is Tennessee really good at? Passing the football. What are they bad at? Running the football. So I wouldn't even run the football this whole game probably. I would just throw the ball all over Vanderbilt. And Tennessee's defense is good enough to get some stops versus Vanderbilt. So as long as Joey Aguilar is not a turnover machine, they'll be okay.
Yeah, I was leaning towards Tennessee in that one, only because of the home field advantage in that one. I'm just kind of skeptical about Vanderbilt going in there, and I'm not trying to hate on Vanderbilt. It would be awesome to see Vanderbilt go to the playoff. Don't get me wrong. I think it'd be sweet to see that, dude.
Story.
That would be see exactly. That'd be an awesome story.
If Vanderbilt wins this game and there's enough chaos, then there is a path to them to get in.
Right. Their passing defense, like you said, it's very similar because I think Tennessee's passing defense is right above them in the SEC. They're 14th in the SEC. Vanderbilt's is 15th.
Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of a battle, I think. And plus, Pavia did put up like 400. A battle of bad defense. And plus, Pavia put up 400-plus yards on Texas' defense, on defenses like that, right? So I'm not going to say anything yet. I'll favor Tennessee because of the home field advantage, but I would not be surprised if Vanderbilt won that game. Man, it's preview and predictions time here for Pigskin Frenzy. We got a lot of games. 2 games on Friday, 2 games on Saturday. The game that we're starting off with is on Friday. Georgia versus Georgia Tech in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Why are they playing it there? It should be in Bobby Dodd Stadium, but I don't know. That's just that's my opinion.
100%.
My opinion. I think rivalry games should be.
Agree with that.
Rivalry games should be a home and home. Georgia's a 13.5 favorite.
Yep.
What's your analysis on this game? Who do you got? I think I already know what you're going to say on this one, but I just want to ask just to hear it. Is the spread too high?
There is a path to Georgia Tech to winning. I believe chaos is about to ensue this weekend.
Okay.
Chaos. Every single season for the last 3 weeks of the season, every single one, you'll have at least 3-4 top 10 teams lose, 5 top 15 teams lose. We have not had that yet.
Yep.
So it's coming. I just hope my Oregon Ducks are not a part of that. Lord, please. And so this puts, Georgia Tech had a chance to win this game last year. And I think if you ask Brent Key again, would he go for 2? He absolutely would. Yeah. Put it all on one play with your dude and everything. But this year, Georgia Tech's defense is, it is just Swiss cheese. Boston College just
yeah.
It was a track meet up and down the field. And Boston College was 1-9. Mm-hmm. So I am highly concerned about this Georgia Tech defense, but they are going to have a little bit of juice. It's going to take them getting a turnover early, maybe getting up 14-3 or something for them to, but at the end of the day, they're going to run out of talent and run out of gas. Georgia's going to win, but probably be inside the number.
Oh, okay. So now I'm kind of shocked because I thought I was going to lean towards, okay, he's going to say Georgia's going to win and cover this game. I was shocked a little bit, but I'm glad that you mentioned that's a very interesting point.
I've been wavering on this one, just so you know.
Hey, man. No. Hey, look, it's rivalry weekend, man. Throw everything out the window, man. Guys, clean old-fashioned hate. That's what this is. Georgia's keys for me are simple. Establish the running game. Georgia Tech is 95th in rushing defense, by the way, in the sport of college football. Georgia Tech allowed 186 total yards versus Pitt on the ground last week. It's going to be very interesting. That was That game was something, wasn't it? That was something. Man, I think you got to win the time of possession battle if you're Georgia. You're fourth in time of possession in the sport. You're first in the conference. So if I just think you got to hold on to the ball, man. I think you just got to convert on third down. You have to just move the ball, keep on going, and keep that defense on its heels, and then you're fine. And then force turnovers, which I think Georgia Tech has had a little bit of a struggle with as of late, turning the ball over. So I think if you just force turnovers for Georgia Tech, Georgia, you're good. Keys for Georgia Tech are simple: protect the football, 2 turnovers versus Pitt. You cannot let that happen against this Georgia Bulldogs defense, because they will run away with it and capitalize on that. Establish the running game. Y'all, Georgia's 5th in rushing defense, but Georgia Tech, they are usually a good running team, but they have been struggling to find their groove a little bit on the ground. Just a tiny bit. That's what's scary about me, and that's the big key right there for me, is Georgia's 5th at rushing defense, and they're kind of just being a little iffy on the ground.
Yeah, it seems like Georgia's hitting their stride right now.
It really does. You know, when it's like, okay, Georgia's like, okay, a team's, they either start off really high, and then they we just go down, right? Then there's those teams that are like, okay, they start off a little bit sluggish, and they get better and better and better, and they peak at the right time. Georgia's peaking at the right time, I believe. And then Georgia Tech win the time of possession battle. They're 80th in time of possession in the sport of college football. Man, who do I got winning this ball game? Give me Georgia. I think Georgia's going to cover and win, dude. I think it's going to be close at first. I think Georgia's going to end up running away with it. I don't see this game being the classic that it was last year. I am sort of confident, like you. You know how when we predicted Texas and Georgia a couple of weeks back?
Yeah. And I was stomping on the tables about.
Yeah, I'm on that fence right now with Georgia Tech, and I was high on Georgia Tech, man. I really was.
Yeah, but there's nothing that you can do. Like they've played way too. They have used up all of their 9 lives, and if they don't come out and play good football in this game, they are going to. They can absolutely get run out of the Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Absolutely. Give me Georgia, man. Georgia, 13.5. They cover. I think Georgia wins 31-17. I'll say that. 31-17. Georgia wins. Let me go on and tell you something, man. This game's going to be very interesting as well. The Lone Star Showdown. Texas A&M and Texas. Texas A&M is a 2.5-point favorite. Is the spread just right? What's your analysis, and who do you have?
I am going to. So I'm confused about this game.
Okay.
Right? Because everything in me says that Texas A&M is a fraud. This is they haven't even played one of the top 7 SEC teams, and we're supposed to trying to be acting like that this team is amazing and a world beater. But Texas is flawed. So, and Texas's pass defense is not doing what it needs to do. But Texas's rush can put pressure on Marcel Reed. Marcel Reed gets pressure and can't get out of the pocket. He will throw you the football. So I am torn. Because in the South Carolina game, South Carolina's defense, their defense and offense is poorly coordinated. I just want to let they are poorly coordinated. And in terms of like either the players are doing a bad job, which means the coaches are allowing it, or because the people are misaligned, big plays are happening all the time. It is just frustrating to watch. And Texas A&M, they are riding high and they are primed for a fall. It's just either going to happen before the playoff or in the playoff. And I believe that Arch Manning has been playing better. But a lot of their big chunk play yards are because of, scheming plays up, and then they just run away. And like somebody's running scot-free. And that can happen against Texas A&M. I am so confused about this game. I don't know who to pick. And then to make it even worse, I was like a never Texas in the college football playoff guy, right?
Yeah.
Never. Especially with 3 losses.
Yeah.
But then I had a conversation with a friend and he almost changed my mind. But then I was like, I'm not getting ready to let common sense get in the way of what I think right now. So, and that was that if Oklahoma wins, right?
Right.
Then Oklahoma's in the playoff.
Yeah.
And then if Vanderbilt can beat Tennessee and some things happen, they would be in the playoff.
Yeah.
So then Texas would have losses against Ohio only. Well, that Florida loss might weigh them down.
Yeah.
But then their losses would be against Ohio State and then getting beat up by Georgia.
Yeah.
And then Florida. So then I was like, so their 2 losses would be to 2 teams that could be in the playoff, like assuming that Vanderbilt and Oklahoma get in. Then I'm like, dang, maybe they could get in. But if Vanderbilt stays out, I'm fine with Texas being out.
Okay. Who do you got?
I just told you I didn't know, Joel. No, I'm just playing.
Look, I was having trouble with this game too.
Chaos comes. I got Texas.
Man, okay. Look, all right. Look, and you're standing down on it too. That's what I love about it. Chaos comes. Texas, they got it. I like that. Good pick, man. Their keys for Texas A&M: establish the running game. Problem with that is Texas is good at slowing down the run. Look, Texas defensively has not really been all that bad. I really don't think, at least. I think up front they've been really good. Now, let's not exclude the Georgia game. Maybe Florida game too. Exclude the Georgia game in Florida. But they haven't been all that bad. They really haven't. They haven't been all that bad. So,
yeah,
just, if you're A&M, try your best to establish the run game. Gonna be tough, but just try your best. Win the line of scrimmage battle. I think that should be a biggest key here. And I think it's a key for both teams, really. I'll even add the Texas key into that one. I think the biggest key for both teams is just be physical, try to out physical one another. It was the key last year. It's the key this year. Who's going to be more physical in this ball game? For A&M, you got to create pressure and force turnovers, especially with Arch Manning. Arch Manning has 9 total turnovers this year, 2 fumbles, 7 interceptions. If you can force some turnovers and kind of rattle them like Georgia did a little bit, I think you have probably a highly good chance at winning this game. That's just me. Even though he is getting better, I agree with that settlement. A lot of people think, oh, what's Arch done? Hey, man, he's not. He's slowly starting to show some flashes. It's just coming a little bit slower.
Yeah, he's not. Yes, he's more. Some things cook really fast. He's like a risotto. You got to put it in. You got to keep stirring, adding cheese. It's a process. Or making a roux.
Yeah,
you can't just put it on there and let it cook. You got to keep stirring, and it's gonna take a while.
Another good one. It's like you're cooking cookies or something. Like you're about to make cookies, but you got to preheat the oven, man. You just got to preheat that oven.
Exactly.
And that's what it is. That's what Arch Manning's doing. Got to preheat that oven. Texas's keys, you got to force turnovers, obviously. Marcel Reed has... you've seen some flashes of him turn the ball over. I would not be surprised if Marcel Reed turned the ball over in this game. It wouldn't shock me. Slow down the running game. Also, A&M, they're 25th in rushing offense in the sport, 3rd in the SEC, but I think they have the defense to do that. Just to slow them down a touch. And then win the line of scrimmage battle, obviously. Who do I got winning this game? Well, George, it was convincing what you were telling me. It really was. I just don't see it right now. I think what's going to happen is A&M is going to force a little bit of those turnovers from Arch. I think A&M is going to win this game. I think it's going to be 24-17, and they're going to go in and cover. I think A&M wins. Very bold of me to say that. We'll see what happens, but I think A&M wins this game, man. 24-17, and they go on the road and get it done. I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna be bold a little bit this week. Let's go to Saturday's games, man. The game, or up north, it's the greatest rivalry in the sport of the college football. There's debates. Ohio State 11-0, Michigan 9-2. Ohio State is 9.5-point favorite. Is the spread too high? Who do you have winning this game?
Okay. If I'm being honest, right?
Yeah.
If you had told me last year with the way that Michigan couldn't throw the football, that they would have beat Ohio State, then I would have, If you had told me that, right?
Yeah.
I would have said no way, no how. Ohio State has a Michigan problem, but Ohio State's defense is very good this year.
Very good, man.
They actually, no, excuse me, I lied. They're not very good. They are excellent.
Yeah.
They also have not played some of the top. Well, they shut down Washington, who's a top offense.
Yeah.
And they were at home because they're a top 25 offense in college football. But they haven't played a ton of top offenses. Bryce Underwood has a propensity to turn the football over.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, what do you want me to do? Like, I can't pick against Ohio State knowing that he turns the ball over against regular people. So imagine a defense that's going to be in your face and able to stop the run. And once they score some points, they're going to have to throw it. This game is going to get out of control. Yeah. Ohio State is going to beat the brakes off of Michigan.
Bold. That was bold. It was sort of the sentiment like it was like the Texas-Georgia game a little bit when we were talking about it 2 weeks back. I got that vibe a little bit, which is pretty good. All right, man. Ohio State, Michigan, 9.5-point favorite in the big house. The game, as they call it. Well, keys for me for Ohio State, they got to slow down their running game. Michigan's 10th in rushing offense in the sport. Now, Ohio State, they stopping the run, they've had sort of trouble, not too much, but they shown some cracks a little bit. I think the key is who's going to run the ball more, and not really run the ball more, but who's going to have more rushing yards at the end of the game. Could be Michigan, could be Ohio State. Who knows? I mean, Ohio State forced turnovers. Like you said, Bryce Underwood is prone to turn the ball over a little bit. You're 100% right on that. I think if you force some turnovers, especially with that defense, I mean, Ohio State should win this game. Also, here's another one. Keep testing their secondary, especially if Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith are healthy and ready to go. I don't see who's guarding Jeremiah Smith. Well, I've always said when you see Jeremiah Smith and the specimen that he is, you freaking run away. He is an absolute menace to defenses, and he is. He's the best receiver in the sport, man. I think if you just do that, just keep testing their secondary, you're going to win. So I think that's the key thing there. Establish the running game for Michigan. They are second, Ohio State's second in rushing defense. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to be a good battle. Sort of similar testament last week was, okay, Mizzou had a good running game, and then Oklahoma had a good rushing defense. I think we're going to see a similar sentiment to that this week. Contain their passing attack. They're 26 in the sport, Ohio State is. So if you can figure out a way to just slow down, Julian Sayin, which is going to be tough, dude. Going to be very tough. Then you should be fine. Then enforce turnovers, obviously. Now, here's the key for both teams. Who's going to win the line of scrimmage and who's going to win in the trenches? Obviously, it seems like Ohio State could because they seemed a little bit more tough than Michigan this year. But who knows, man? It is rivalry weekend, so you never know, dude. You really,
goes
literally,
crazy.
it's literally throw everything out the window. Who do I got winning this game? Well, dude, Ohio State's good, man. They are elite. They really are. I mean, they're the number one team in everybody's rankings, including the Frenzy playoff rankings. They look good on offense. They're, like you said, excellent on defense. Tell me why Michigan's going to win this game. Because it seems like every time, Ohio State's going to win. They got this. And then Michigan ends up winning.
Okay.
Give me Michigan to win this game. I think Michigan's going to win.
Without wishing bad upon a player getting hurt, there's no chance they win. It comes to an end. It comes to an end. Like Michigan can't score enough points. I don't believe. Like there is a way. I lied. Turnovers. It's going to be about turnovers. If they can get a strip sack picked up for a touchdown, or like if a punt return and then a muff punt, like because they did muff a punt versus Penn State. It's going to take that sort of thing for them to be able to win. It is, but at the same time, we have not seen Ohio State be challenged at all this year. So the question is, I mean, even Georgia in that 22 year when they had the 21 or 22 year where they had the best defense maybe ever in college football, they damn near lost to Kentucky, I believe. So you get tested at some point in time. Question is, can you get out of the test? Can you make it out? How do you handle when your back's against the wall? We don't know the answer to that yet. And it's either going to get answered against Michigan in the Big Ten championship or in the college football playoff, because either one of two things is true. Either Ohio State is an all-time great team, okay, which is possible, or they're front runners.
Yeah.
And they did what Oregon did last year, where they run through everybody pretty much in the regular season. Number one, like 2/3 of the season. And then you come in the playoff game and you're not ready. Yeah. And it's not like, I don't think that Oregon was that much worse than Ohio State last year. They just got punched in the face early and it was like, whoa. And then it was a flurry of punches. And by the time that you regrouped, it was like 31-0. And you're like, oh, God, that was too fast. Like, if you played that game on from the second half, it's a competitive game. But the first half was less than competitive. It was just like, it was a boxing match where somebody gets hit and dazed in the first round and it takes them a few rounds to get their bearings back. They didn't get knocked out, but almost. And then they start fighting back, and then they finally win rounds 8, 9, and 10. And you're like, well, they're like 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then you're like, oh, the fight's over, though. All the points have been put up.
The reason why I'm picking Michigan is because of the history. And I know it sounds cliche, like, okay, that's so as a Christian, we always have those words of Jesus is Lord, but it's like, yeah, that's such a Sunday school answer, Joel, which means like you answer those typical questions in Sunday school. That's like what this is. Like, dude, you're going by history, such a Sunday school answer. But for real, man, like, they had no business winning that game last year. They really did not. Going into the shoe with that team, had no business winning that game last year, but they did. I know the past few years they did, but their team was pretty solid, right? So I think yes, while Underwood is turnover prone, I think he's also just a freshman, still starting his first full year, trying to get everything, going, not really going, but he's going through everything. He's still picking it up game by game. I don't know, man. I think they have a better quarterback this year. I think they find a way to do it, and I think they do their absolute best at running the ball. And like you said, there's a good key. I agree with you on this. They really have to force turnovers in that game. Wholeheartedly, I agree with you on that.
So essentially what you're saying is that Ohio State has a generational curse named Michigan right now.
I think, yeah. It's like, it's literally, you know what it is? It's, remember last week, I keep going back to this game, Georgia, Texas. This is it right here. It's literally like, okay, the problem that Ryan Day has, he's 1-4, I believe, right? 1-4 against Michigan. Yeah. Great against everybody else, but against your rival, that's a little bit of an alarm. That's an alarming trend, but we'll see what happens, man. We will see what happens. Noon Eastern, 11 a.m. kick. Last but not least, the Iron Bowl, which, by the way, it would just be an injustice if I didn't do this, guys. This game, and I'm gonna say it. It's unofficially sponsored by Iron in the Blood. I don't know if you guys can see it. Iron in the Blood by Jay Busby. He is a good friend of ours. We had him on to talk about his book. Yahoo Sports senior writer Jay Busby. He is amazing writer. Go and read that book. It's where it has been out since August 26th. Wherever books are sold, go and get it. Fantastic book. Talks about the Alabama and Auburn Iron Bowl rivalry. Alabama's a 5.5-point favorite in this game. No, excuse me. Sorry, it went up. 6.5-point favorite in this game. Voodoo is in the air because it is Jordan Hare. Who do you got winning this game? And is the spread too high or low?
Upset City.
So here we go.
Upset City. Sorry, Alabama fans. Actually, not sorry. One of my bold predictions to begin this season, Alabama would miss the college football playoff. Their hopes would get up, and then they would be dashed. The Oklahoma game. Told you. If I bet on sports, I'd have bet my house on that game. This one, not quite there, but I feel good. I believe that Kalen DeBoer is really waffling about whether he wants to stay there or not. Alabama does a poor job of running the football. I think they only got about 1,100 rushing yards on the whole season. They are so they're very pass heavy. Auburn, bad against the pass, great against the run. So if they can stop the run with a light box and focus more on the pass, they're going to have some opportunities there. And Ty Simpson has not played very good, if we're really being, he hasn't played poorly, but he hasn't been lights out. And they have only played a couple of decent pass defenses. And this is going to be one of the better ones that they've played. So,
Auburn. That's a unique pick. Especially the thing is, though, you don't know. That's the thing. It's so rivalry weekend and Showdown Saturday is just so chaotic, and you think chaos is going to happen. So look, hey, I got you. Look, I feel you. I'm not going to argue with you on that, man. Alabama's keys, like you said, they are pass heavy. Create more explosive plays, though. I believe. I think you just need to create those explosive plays. You'll be fine. Protect the football. That's a big key right there. Alabama has turned the ball over 5 times in its last 2 games. 5 turnovers in its last 2 games.
Yep.
That's tough. You don't need to do it in this game. And the thing what's so bad about it is you're going in knowing that stat, right, that I just know, and knowing how the Iron Bowl is crazy with Jordan Hare Stadium, especially with, like, it's do or die, or it's nothing to lose. It makes me uneasy, man. It really does. It makes me a little bit uneasy. And then you win the time of possession battle, 12th in time of possession in the sport, and then third, and then second in the SEC. Hold on to the ball, run the clock out, play ball control football, and you'll be fine in this one. Auburn's keys, force turnovers, obviously. I think if you do what Oklahoma did, do what Eastern Illinois, what they did to them, because Ty Simpson threw 2 picks against them. Crazy. You should be fine. Establish the running game. You're 43rd in college football and running the ball, 7th in the conference. But here's the kicker to this, George. Alabama is 32nd in the sport, and they are 9th in the SEC. People have moved the ball on them running the football.
Yes.
So I think I think it's not insane. Here's my last key, and I think this is a good talking point here. I keep saying it's do or die versus nothing to lose. Do or die for Bama, nothing to lose for Auburn. So play like it if you're Auburn. Play like there's nothing to lose. Throw caution to the wind. Dial up some trick plays. Man, create some chaotic, fake a field goal, dude. Literally, fake punts. Literally, just go crazy.
Yes.
Go ham. Because you're playing like you're nothing to lose. You're not playing for a playoff spot. You're playing for bowl eligibility, sure. You're not playing for a playoff spot. You're playing for the future. So it's like, what else do you got to play like there's nothing to lose?
Exactly. Yep.
Literally. Who do I got winning this game? I did it before, dude. I'll do it again. I'm going to go with Bama. I know last time it was OU and Bama last time. You picked OU, I picked Bama, and I was wrong. I hope I don't. We'll see. I'll go with Bama this time. I think it will be closer than what people think it's going to be. I think Auburn will cover, actually. I think it will be a 24-21 game. Alabama 24, Auburn 21.
And we got some Deuce Knight wild card, too.
We do. Here's the scary thing, though. Here's the scary thing. For me, I don't think it's going to be in Bama's favor. It comes down to the special teams. I really don't. I don't favor if it. Then that's the problem. I think if it gets into the range of like a 25-yard field goal, maybe. If it's like if it's like a 40 and up, I'm not. That's
cancel Christmas.
Yeah. It's going to go in overtime. So Bama 24, Auburn 21. Any final thought? Actually, you know what? One more question before we wrap up and before you give your final thoughts. 3 things that you're thankful for before we wrap up.
I am thankful for my family. I am thankful for career is going well. Things are, and then thankful for the health of those around me, like those closest to me. We've had some years that wasn't the case. So I'm thankful for all of those 3 things. And then the last thing, I'm thankful that God is good.
Amen. See, that's what I like, man. Number 1, I give all praise to Jesus because without him, I would not be doing this. I mean, literally was told at 2 years old I wasn't going to be able to talk. Like I said, I'm not shutting up now. So, and you're probably thinking when you listen to this show, please stop for the time being and just take a breath. But listen, I'm thankful for Jesus, man. Without him, I wouldn't be in this. So, number 2 is relationships that I've formed, especially with, with my family, not just with my family and other friends, but people like people like George Wrighster, man. Building new connections with him, building connections in this space. I'm thankful for that as well. I'm also thankful for Pigskin Frenzy, obviously. I'm thankful for doing this because, I mean, look, this is what I'm born to do. I love this sport, and I love covering it, and that's the last thing that I'm thankful for. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up, or?
No, sir. I'm glad. Thank you for inviting me again, and we'll do it another day, too.
Absolutely, man. Guys, that is George Wrighster III from the Unafraid Show. That is all the time we got. I hope everyone has a beautiful, great rest of your Thursday afternoon and great Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of food, watch some football. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Poppy, and Apple, just share around with others and follow on there as well. X on Instagram is at pigskin_frenzy. Guys, thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's a long episode. Thanksgiving. Have a great rest of your day. Eat some great food, turkey, ham, whatever you like. I don't like deviled eggs, but hey, y'all go do y'all. Guys, George Wrighster, from the host of the Unafraid Show, George Wrighster, I'm Joel Norris. We're signing off. We'll see you Tuesday. For everybody out there, please and always, stay the course.